Here we go, this is the lazy line then. A lazy line is all it is simply a way to haul an anchor in conjunction with an ordinary ring, single-handed. On a quicksilver, this is how I set it up. It's just a length of thick line, and then it's mounted up at the little T-point at the front there, and then you run it around the front of the boat, and I put mine through the anchor roller. Don't ever have it going around the railings because it's going to have tension on it, obviously, when you've got an anchor on it and when you're hauling. So make sure it goes through and loops around the roller on the front there. And all it does is keep a little bit of slack in it. You don't want it too tight so it's pinned to there, otherwise when the ring that I'll show you in a minute runs up the boat, it will scratch it all up. Keep a little bit of slack in it, and then it runs down to the boat. It's probably a little bit too slack, this one, and it's tied off at the rear cleat. But on there, and I'm going to show you some real-time footage in a minute, you've got a ring with a large carabiner on it. So once your anchor's shot over, you clip the anchor line to here using a double overhand knot, which again I'll show you in a minute. This ring, under tension, then pulls forward. And obviously you've got to remember now the anchor's clipped onto here, so as the boat's sitting back in the tide, this runs up to the front of the boat. And then eventually what it will do is it will pull tight, anchor's going off here towards the camera, and then that's where it's going to sit down like that. The Alderney buff will be over there, and then when you haul it, again you go out and around as if you're going to haul an Alderney ring. I'll do a separate video on the actual hauling of it another day. This then runs to the back of the boat, it goes all the way to the rear, and obviously once it gets to there, your anchor and your buff's going to be behind you because you're driving forward. And all you do then is keep steaming up until the anchor reaches the Alderney ring reaches the anchor, buff bobs up and down, and all you do is pull them a slack line. Again, you're going to see all this real time in a minute. That is a lazy line. If you get in trouble, people always go, oh, how do you let it go if something happens, an emergency? All you got to do is untie the lazy line from that cleat. The ring will just slide off the lazy line, dump your anchor rope over the side, and then you can steam off any way you want. And obviously then you just go and pick it up because the buff will be floating with all your slack line. So absolutely perfect for me with my issues, and even if you haven't got any issues, a lazy line, absolutely perfect. And it's so simple. A couple of components, that's it. You've got to mind your feet, excuse the pun, when you're letting the anchor line and rope go. There's one hook up in that and you will be in a spot of bother. So go stern slightly. A lot harder on your own. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to take our triangle. Like I said, this is just to stop the buff from travelling up the line. Put a loop through it. Got this off eBay. Yeah, that's not going nowhere. You throw that and give yourself another 15-20 foot. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a double overhand or an overhand loop like that in the rope. There's a carabiner on this split ring that you just clip that loop into, he says, and then you just send it up the line. Obviously as the boat pulls tight, that will swing round and go up. What I'll do is give it a kick round for us. I'll just show you this now as it goes up. So yeah, there's me ring and buoy here. This is obviously it's just got a bit of tension on it where the where we're starting to pull back on it, but that will eventually run up the line. You can see it's gone right up on that ring. The Alderney buoy is just out to our front and we are sat back with a wreck just behind us. Theory is all I'm hauling up now. 'Now, is slack line, the buff. obviously with the anchor attached to it at the bottom. But there's the triangle, little steel triangle. What you do is just loop that through your line, and that stops your buff for your Alderney ring travelling right up to your boat. And then all you do is just pull in the slack line. I mean, it's such an easy way. I see people on the Quicksilver group especially asking about their winches on the Quicksilvers and what they, you know, when you're in 200 foot of water, you need about 600-700 foot of rope at times. You know, in the really big tides and the deeper water, those winches on the front of these Quicksilvers, they don't hold much. This Alderney ring is absolutely foolproof. The only way it goes wrong is if you cock it up, and you shouldn't cock it up. There we go, now we're at the chain. There we are, look. My Alderney ring's on a bit of rope, you don't have to. It's gone all the way down, so that's how you hold it. And that, the buoyancy in that, is what lifts it up.